Well, good afternoon, welcome back and welcome to the Weekend Wonder Show. I'm Tim Britton and it is an absolute pleasure to have your company for the next hour or so. So thank you so much for tuning and joining in with us. Now, I'm not on my own, I am going to be joined by the wonderful Sheila Halliwell, who is over on the other side of the studio.
Hello,
and you never know, Sheila, you've invited me over into your crafty corner, haven't you?
We have indeed, yeah. I just went through and checked. I said, Dean, can we get Tim over if he wants to do a bit of crafting? He said, yeah, absolutely. And if Tim wants to do a bit of craft, get him over. But it's up to you, Tim. You can do exactly the same things I'm doing, or you can just have a bit of an experiment with some of the flowers.
Listen, hey, come on. This is the whole point. We're here to craft, we're here to learn, we're here to help each other. And that is actually the kind of point of the Weekend Wonder Show, is the fact that we're going to do something and we're going to focus on a fantastic kit. It's the flower press kit that we're going to be focusing on for you today. But this is an opportunity for you to maybe watch along, and then you could rewind this and you could craft along with us. Now, the thing I like is that if you can watch this today on Friday, I want you to watch the show fully. I want you to get a bit of inspiration, and then I want you to start gathering up everything, and I want you to find a pocket of time this weekend for you to have a little bit of wonder for yourself. I want you to find a little pocket of time to create a weekend wonder for yourself if you've got this kit. And if you haven't got this kit, I'm going to give you an option to kind of find a verse, like a way of doing it, okay? So we're talking about the flower press kit, okay? Now, the flower press kit is £45 and 19 pence if you're here in the UK. If you are overseas and you're in the United States, it is going to be $61 and 83 pence. Now, it is an entire kit that you're going to be getting, and it's a new kind of sort of more quick, fast, active way to flower press, to get some pressed flowers and to be able to use them within your crafts. Now, if you don't have this kit, but you like the idea of it, one, put this in your basket right now, check out, and then you know it's going to be winging its way to you. But this weekend, instead of adding and embellishing with real flowers, I want you to find some faux flowers that you've got around, or I want you to find some card embellishments that you've got around, and still find that bit of wonder and still craft along with us. And then when you get your kit home, then you could redo it again. All right, that's what I want you to do. So let me quickly run you through everything that you're going to be getting into this kit, starting with this. This is the actual press that you're going to be getting. Now, the press is broken down into a few different sections. You will be getting, obviously, your instructions that will come through, and they'll guide you exactly step by step how to put the kit together. But don't worry, we're going to give you some wonderful live demonstrations. So what you get is the actual plates, the two plates that kind of create this wonderful crafty sandwich, okay? And then you'll be getting your felt that goes in between. So let me just pop this elastic. This is what holds it all together. So you take one of your plates, then you would put a piece of felt onto the top, okay? Now you will get 4 of these, you get 2 additional ones that come included. Then you've got your cloth. Now these are like muslin cloths, so they're very fine, designed to help kind of absorb the moisture from your flowers, okay? And you can put them in the wash, and I think you get 8 of these. Is it 8? I think you get 8 of these.
Yes,
I think you get 8 of these.
Sorry, yeah.
8 of these, right. And then you kind of put the sandwich in together, and then you put your flowers in, then you get the other side, you put it over the top, and then you put it all back together with your nice big purple stretchy band that comes over the top. But we're going to show you how this works and what you do with it shortly, okay? But that's the pressing kit that comes included. Now, the kit is just under 8 inches squared, okay? So just to give you an idea of how much you can actually fit in there. Also, you're going to be getting 24 pieces of the handmade paper that come included as well. So then you would be able to start creating things like this beautiful kind of sunflower that you've got here. And this is that beautiful texturized handmade paper. If I spin it around so you have a look at the back of it, look at that. So it's that real kind of authentic, true to nature, handmade, real craftsmanship that you've got, a lovely texture that you've got to that one, so you can create that. So you get the paper that comes included, but then you get the stamps. For example, first of all, you get the sentiments, so you get a whole variety of different sentiments that come included with it. This is your stamp set, and I'll show you what those sentiments actually are. You can have a little read of them here. So you get a huge variety, like happy birthday for you, birthday bloomers, with love, thinking of you, sending love on your special day, on your wedding day, a little something, I'd pick you, if friends were flowers. So loads of different sentiments for you to work with your crafty creations. And loads of like kind of nice fonts. So this kit for me really does lend itself to that wedding stationery kind of idea, wedding invites. Thank you for coming to my wedding, christening invites, anything like that. You'll also get the stamps which come as your jars, bottles and vases. So then if you wanted to, you saw that in the example I just showed you, how you could use that and flowers kind of coming out of them. And I think we might be using that in our demonstration as well. I think we might be using this in our kit. But just to give you a bit more of an idea what they actually look like, so you can see the outprints of them. You can see you've got some vintage jars there, some nice vases, even a little plant pot here at the top, if you wanted to be able to use that. But you can also use these for any of your other crafting ideas or projects that you've got going on as well. And then you're going to be getting some of these stickers. Now you get 20 of these kind of transparent stickers that come included. So you get a variety. I've got a board here to show you. You get a variety of the kind of jars and bottles. This one's kind of like a perfume bottle, isn't it? It's very Chanel. Very Chanel, that bottle. But then this one, I think, is very almost like vintage. It's almost like something from like the 1920s or something, isn't it? And then like the nice big bell jars at the bottom, and then that kind of nice cloche. Thank you very much. Well, would a cloche not have a ball on the top so you could lift it up? Because I use cloches for candles so you can smell the fragrance from them. Might have, it might not. It might not, I might be wrong. If you know, does a cloche have to have a little handle on the top or not? Maybe it doesn't. Let us know in the comments if you do know. By the way, comments, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know where you are. I'd love to know where you're watching from. I'd love to know if you've got this kit at home. I'd love to know if you're placing an order for this kit so you can come and craft along with us. So please do message us here. I'd love to be able to keep up with you and catch up with you. And then the final piece is the rustic tape. You'll be getting 3 rolls of 10 meters of the rustic tape that comes included. It's 20 millimeters, which is about 0.8 of an inch in terms of its width. And that will be coming in your kit as well. So all of that for £45.19. Or if you are in the US, it's going to be $61.83 for you. So it's a tremendous kit, and you can see I kind of got a few examples here of some things that you might be able to create, some wonderful kind of cards that you can embellish, ways that you could use all the different options and elements with them together. So if you wanted to add some petals down the bottom here, if you wanted to use the stamp and then have some of your foliage coming out of the top, and you could collect wildflowers. It could be things from the garden. It might be a bouquet of flowers that someone bought you and you just don't want them to die, so you're going to dry one of them, or not dry one out, you're going to press one of them out, and then you'll be able to create something like this that you can keep that memory going for a long period of time. So a wonderful option that we've got for you there. Now I'm going to quickly just jump on, because I can see I've had a fair few messages come through. So we've got Trudy saying good morning everyone, Malton hello everyone, good morning, Jan and all the crafting peeps from the smoky PNW, Pennsylvania, no. PNW. I'm going to keep brainstorming that one. Pacific Northwest. Time zone. Let us know. So we've also got cheers, Tim. Very nice cheering and inspiration. Oh, you're more than welcome. Alison says, the cake lady, good afternoon, Tim, and the lovely giggly Sheila. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. That's from Diane. Lovely to have you all in. I'm in Kidderminster, Tim, in the West Midlands, not far from those awful fires in Staffordshire. Oh, no. It's been bad. Listen, everyone behave yourselves. Everyone stay as safe as you possibly can. Look after each other and go around and check on your neighbours. Give your family a call and make sure everyone's all right. You know, do what you can. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it, when these things happen. But look, we do the best that we can. We keep rolling and we do that typical British thing, which just keep going. Just keep going. Right. So if you want to grab hold of your kit, we do have these available for you right now. They are on a fantastic price for you. You can see there is a huge amount of value for money in the kit that's going to be coming. But we are going to start to have a bit of a look as to what you could start creating with this kit with our wonderful giggly Sheila. I like it.
You make me giggle more now. Okay, so I've been carefully, while Tim has been speaking there, I've been carefully dissecting what was a little branch from a shrub in the garden. And as we did the tag before, when I was showing you about how you can use the leaves for conifer trees, then I thought, I wonder when these are pressed, if they would look like little palm trees, possibly.
I just thought that.
Did
I
you
was like,
really?
it looks like she's going to do something tropical.
Well, I wasn't, no, but I'm thinking because we're going to do some flower pressing anyway, we might as well throw 1 or 2 of these in and see what they look like when they're pressed. Because as we said before, if you were doing something seasonal, you could do a winter one with Christmas trees, you could do like an autumn one, but this would be perfect for summer. If they would press out to look like palm trees, then that would be amazing. Now I've got another little bit of foliage here as well, and this is off another really big shrub in my garden. So I don't know what it's called, but I thought let's put some of those in and see what they're pressed like. And then this one I picked on the way out this morning, which has actually got, I mean, it's got a couple, it's got like some little purple flowers on, but I think they are on the way out because it looks a bit limp. But look at this. It's got little like tendrils on. So I'm wondering if we put that in as well, if those tendrils will still be intact when we take it out of there. And then I think what we're going to do, we'll pop in a couple of the rose petals that we took from the rose earlier on. And what I am going to do, I'm going to do one, I'm going to do that one that way.
I was thinking, you know what would be great when they're in season would be tulip leaves.
Oh, my goodness.
Because you get such bright, vibrant colours, don't you, of tulips.
Oh,
So
that
when
would
they're
be
in
amazing.
season, some of those, because you get, you know, the blues and red, yellows, you get some beautiful, and like, you do get beautiful flowers.
Absolutely.
Like beautiful flowers. Like we have some wonderful coloured roses in our garden. We've got some lovely
Do you?
pinks. We've got lots of pink ones in our garden.
Yes.
And I absolutely love them. I spent a long time trying to make sure we got them growing really well. So, you know, being able to reuse them, because like they bloom, so I then cut them off like before they start to die, and then we pop them in the house, even if they're only there for a day or so. But then again, they start to wilt. So you go, why not do something again with them?
Yes.
To keep them alive forever.
Absolutely,
Well,
yeah. And I mean, flower pressing used to be a big thing. When my grandma passed away in the 80s, I think, 1987, something like that. And she was 90 when she passed away. But when we obviously went into a house and cleared out things, Grandma had a lot of like hymn books and Bibles and stuff. She was very religious. And inside all of these books were pressed flowers.
Wow.
Like tiny, tiny little ones. And I don't know how long they'd been there, but she'd press them. She used to put this pile of books at the bottom of the stairs on the like bottom step. So every time you went up to the toilet or anything, you would see it. And like I say, there were all kinds of little flowers in there, little forget-me-nots, little cornflowers, just beautiful, beautiful flowers. But they'd been done in the traditional way where you put them in between a couple of pieces of tissue and put them in there on the back page and then close the book. We had a big encyclopedia as well, which had flowers pressed in there as well. We used to like put daisies and dandelions and things in. So clover as well, that presses quite nicely. But yeah, I think that's really nice to do. And when you go through people's belongings after they've passed many, many years on, we've no idea how many years they'd been there and what reason she'd put them in there, because they might have been from a little wedding or something like that. But they were just beautiful when we took them out of there. And as well, at the same time, inside those books as well were, you know, like sweet wrappers. So like from Quality Street and things like that. She used to flatten all those out and keep those.
Random segue, when I was a kid, there was a huge craze of taking crisp packets and kind of like sort of almost dehydrating them and shrinking them down in your oven. There was a huge craze of this. And if you got one just right, if you got it so it kind of shrank down but didn't screw up the corners so it looked like a mini packet, everyone used to love them.
I know. Do you know what, we were talking about that recently? My sister came over from she lives in California. She came over about 8 to 9 weeks ago. We lost our mum, so she came over and we were trying to find some memories to tell the vicar for the funeral. And we were talking, that was one of the things we mentioned, that when she used to go up and see my nan on a Saturday morning, and when we were probably about 15 and 13, she'd leave us in at that age. We could stay in,
Yeah,
we'd be
yeah.
doing homework and stuff like that, me and my younger sister. And we would eat crisps like quavers and things, and then
Yes.
we'd put them under the grill flat and turn it on, watch them shrink, and then put a little hole in and have it as a key ring on a school bag.
Yeah.
And the first thing she would do when she would come in, because she was quite strict, she would say, "Who's been grilling crisp packets in here?" And we'd be like, yeah. So that, when you just said that, then that gave me that memory.
This is the right, but this is what craft is about. Craft is about remembering and cherishing these memories.
Absolutely,
and everyone has different things. Like things like this that we're doing now would remind me of my grandma. Now, my grandma is the ripe young age of 98. Okay.
Wow.
She's still going strong, is she? Francis, if you're watching. Hello, darling.
Oh.
And then the thing is, like, when my grandma does decide that she's on for a new adventure, I'm going to go into her garden because she likes her garden. And I'll take a few bits from there and I'll put them down. And if you're at a wedding, like my wife, when we got married, she really liked and kept some of the flowers that we had at the wedding. And you try to dry them out and things like that. But like pressing them is a way of keeping hold of them, especially if you then did something like this with them. So you can kind of then keep it, you know, oh, sorry. Let me see if I can just back that a bit for you as well so you can have a bit of an idea. But you could keep them in there so you could have like your wedding flower or your buttonhole or something like that permanently kind of as a keepsake or something, you know.
Yeah.
Just the little things like that are quite nice.
I think it's amazing. I think the fact that we can do it like on tap now. Just by, you know, using the microwave that you've got in the house. And obviously you can wipe it out. And you just do have to bear in mind that they're all different wattage. So you might have 700, 750, 800. When I launched these on Hobby Maker, they brought the industrial microwave in, which was huge. And everybody does their dinners in that. They cleaned it out specially. Well, I put that on. I don't know what the wattage was on that. It must have been something like 1500 or something like that. And I could smell while I was speaking to the viewers. I thought, it smells like it might be burning. They were only in there for 30, 40 seconds and I pulled them out. And of course I took the top off and it burnt a hole in my mat. And that was because it was an industrial microwave meant to last for like 10 years for 500 or 600 people to use every day, you know.
Yeah.
So just be aware that, you know, if you're thinking, oh, we don't have a microwave, I'll do it at work.
Little
just
and often,
make sure.
Little and often, little bits like we're doing there, 30 seconds.
Absolutely.
And those look like palm trees to me.
They do, don't they? So straight away now, this is a good thing. Don't think you just have to have flowers. If you go into your garden and you've got loads of shrubs, take off the foliage because they do shrink, they do dry. And then, like we said, we've got 3 palm trees here. So that could be like, you could have been to Miami for your holidays, you could do them on the scrapbook page, you could be doing them on like a seasonal thing, on a calendar, whatever you want to. But look at this one as well. And this is remarkable because it's kept the little tendrils on there, but they've shrunk. They're absolutely minute, but they're still all curled around. And then the little flower that was on there, well, it's just compressed the heads and taken the moisture out. And now we've just got purple tips just on the end because they were purple flowers. But look at that. That's just incredible. I'm absolutely amazed that these are still on there with all those little curls where they would grab onto something. Then we've done another fuchsia, which again, the fuchsias are just incredible, aren't they? We've done the hydrangea. So that's gone from that one to that one. So again, the colour has completely changed.
That hydrangea almost looks like it's like a mini, cherry tree in blossom.
Yes, it does actually, yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And then we've got this little set of leaves here. Now, I like this because the leaves have turned different ways. So you can see a couple, we can see the back, and a couple, we can see the front. And then we've got the petals. Now, as I was saying before, if we take a piece of this handmade paper, which is beautiful, and I know that very often handmade paper is made like over in Manila and in the Philippines, places like that. So what you can do is you can kind of make your own now. So because I've got these little petals here and they're quite brittle now, but what you can do is you can just take little pieces off like this and you can add these to your paper.
Nice.
So straight away, if you were, like you were saying, Tim, about doing wedding stationery and stuff, this is
how much
perfect.
would it be to buy wedding stationery
Yeah.
on like a handmade piece of paper like that with some petals already put through it.
Oh,
when you could
yeah.
do it yourself with your own garden, with your own rose petals, and it could be something themed that's more like, I don't know, the colour of your wedding or something like
Yes.
that. And then, you know, tying that in, but also the sentiment that people have, people would keep hold of that invitation. You know, that'd be a memory for someone else to keep hold of. So a great way of kind of utilising and using things that you have around you. Lots of people seem to have done the same thing with crisp packets.
Absolutely. It's
There's
amazing
lots
what
of
you
comments
can do.
coming in saying that we used to do the same with crisp packets, Alison has said. Laurie's also says, hi, sweet Sheila and Tim.
Hello, Laurie.
And we might have a couple of pictures coming through as well. I think Debbie might have sent one through, and Jean, I think, is hopefully sending one through. So we'll wait for those to come through.
That'd be nice.
If you prepare foliage and flowers in advance, how would you store them before making something with them? Well, so Sheila had brought ones in with her today already, hadn't you? And you'd kind of put them in between some kitchen roll, it's like some tissue or something?
I did them, let me grab my little book. So this is in one of my little knitting books. It's quite a hardback, so it's quite heavy. If I'll just leave it mid-air because I don't want to put it down on top of that paper that's drying. But you can see, this is how they would be when you would press them in the traditional way, like in the back of an encyclopedia or a big Bible or something like that. But these I did in the microwave this week, a couple of days ago. And as long as you're careful with them, and they will be a bit brittle, you know, and if you're carrying them around here, there and everywhere like I do in the car, but you can see, I mean, that's come, you know, 125 miles this morning with me in the back of the car.
Yeah.
And look how beautiful that is.
I think
that on its own.
Yeah, I think as long as you keep it kind of squidged in between something.
Yes.
As long as you keep it kind of flat and pressed in between something for its storage, that's probably going to be the best way to keep hold of them.
Absolutely.
Don't just put them into like a storage box and let them bang around, because that's what will break them up. So
yes.
I definitely suggest storing them in between something like a book, you know, like a big heavy book or something like that, and keeping that. And you can always put the book inside a storage box.
Of course you can, yeah.
If you're going to be travelling with it. But
Yeah.
the book, that weighted way is just going to keep it really good. Mary Beth says, good morning from Minnesota.
Hello.
Good morning, Mary Beth. Lovely to have you in. And we were right, it was the Pacific Northwest. I almost say that like it was a quiz. Congratulations, we were right, it was the Pacific Northwest. You've won 10 points. And guess what you've won? You've won a speedboat. Bully's special prize. I always used to love that when I was a kid, watching Bullseye.
Bullseye.
And they always used to win. What have you won? You've won a jet ski.
Yeah.
Why? You'd be like, I live in central London.
Yeah.
I live in Huddersfield. What am I going to do with a jet ski? But it was always a jet ski or a speedboat.
Exactly,
You've won a speedboat. Speedboat. Here's what you've won. You've won a speedboat.
The worst one was, let's have a look at what you could have won.
Oh, I know. Didn't you
was the
always
worst
used to
one, wasn't it?
Here, you know, if you hadn't been so bad, you could have had it. Oh, thanks for that. Just rub it in.
Yeah.
We've had the pictures come
Absolutely,
in.
yeah.
Can I show pictures while you're just putting some petals on?
Yeah,
So we've had a couple of
absolutely.
pictures. So Sophie has said, Sophie says, welcome to the show, Tim.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh.
Adorable.
Oh, how lovely. It's like it from
Look
the
at those
TV.
ears. Oh, they're just crying out for a little scratch and scruffle.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Scruffle around the ears. Oh, love
Very
dogs so
cute.
much. Love animals, love all animals. By the way, World Lizard Day. World Lizard Day today. I've got one more picture, and I've got a picture which has come through. This is a wonderful load of pressed flowers that have been kind of circled through to a butterfly.
Wow.
See, I like the idea of that,
That's
utilising
very nice.
a whole collection of something to create a completely different shape. I really like the idea
beautiful?
of that.
It's so
I mean,
unusual.
and that, you know, that alone might then inspire someone else. Oh, do you know what? I could then do this. I could then do that shape. And that's what's great. If you then send your things through, this inspires everyone else to do more with their craft. Because it might be you go, oh, do you know what? I've got loads of, I don't know, sunflowers in my garden at the moment. So what I'm going to do is create something, I don't know, that's bright, maybe a sunset beach scene, and you're going to use all the yellow petals as the sun, or the sun rays, or something like that. So it's really lovely to see that kind of thing. So thank you very much for sending through your pictures.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sheila and Tim. You're more than welcome. Thank you. Hello, everyone, from Hillary and a very hot Holly Collie.
Oh, poor Holly.
Yeah, my little one, she's struggling at the minute, but she's going to the groomers tomorrow.
Oh.
So she'll get a nice haircut.
And what kind of dog have you got?
So I have got a Cavachon. She is a Cavalier King Charles and a Bichon Frise cross. She's called Biscuit, and she's 12.
Oh, is she? Wow.
So I see if I can find you. Shall I find you a little picture of me and Here's a picture of me and Biscuit. That's a little picture of me and Biscuit.
Oh, look at her.
No, that's her. She's 12.
She's so cute. She's so sweet.
She's 12. She's absolutely 12, and honestly, like she's lovely, but she's a right little tinker. She loves digging around in one of the garden beds, which is always fun, always delightful when she starts to behave like that. But she's a super lovely little thing, and she's very sweet and cuddly. And then I'll see if I can find you one of my...
Have you had her since she was a puppy, Tim?
Yeah, yes. Had Biscuit since she was a puppy.
Oh.
And she's, you know, absolutely adorable. And then my other little one, Gizmo, he passed away this year. Oh. He went off for a new adventure somewhere.
Oh.
And he had the biggest set of ears for a little dog. I'm trying to just see if I can find a little picture of him, because he had, honestly, he was a papillon, which is French for butterfly.
Of course, yeah.
And he had an almighty set of ears on him, which, yeah, he was fab. Maybe if I do it this way.
My mum used to have they had a Cocker Spaniel when my mum was young, and she was called Lassie as well, and said that when her ears were so big, when they used to put a dish of food out, her ears used to drop in the food, so they used to have to clip her ears back when she was having a meal. Otherwise, they'd just be covered in like meat on the ends. So, yeah, funny little stories about the pets. That's a picture of Gizmo and his ears. Them ears. Oh my! Look at that! It's so gorgeous.
You know, you can hear anything with them.
Oh my!
Although he had quite selective hearing.
Oh,
yeah,
that's so cute.
Quite selective hearing, did Gizmo. But yeah, lovely little things, lovely to have them. But hey, I could maybe try and create a Gizmo portrait with flowers.
You could.
Use leaves and stuff for his ears.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be brilliant. That would be lovely.
But the thing is, crafting's one of these to recall and remember various different things. Look at how delicate you're being there with those tiny little bits.
I know. I want to get this. I've put a bit of glue and I just can't quite.
But I love it. I do love it. I think it's very remarkable, like how you take one very simple handmade piece of paper, and even this, just adding a few petals to it.
Hasn't it made a difference?
Completely makes a difference and changes what that is. And
absolutely,
this is the kind of thing that you start doing. Don't forget, this kit is available for you in the UK and in the US. £45.19 if you're in the UK. If you're in the US, it's $61.83. You'll be getting the entire pressing kit that you need. You'll be getting that pack of paper, 24 pieces in there. You'll be getting the 16 sentiment stamps. You'll be getting the 6 jars, bottles and vases stamps. You'll be getting the 20 transparent stickers of the various different jars and kind of pots. And then you've also got 3 rolls of the rustic tape that will be coming. All of that in one price. Whoa. That's a flower, isn't it?
We have to do this, don't we? This is a big gerber, isn't it? We absolutely have to do this. Now, we'll do 30 seconds and then we'll probably just give it a second or two and then do it again, because this is quite chunky. So you'll see when you do a big chunky flower,
yes.
Sometimes especially if it's bigger on one side than the other, when the plates come out, they might look like they're a bit warped, and that's even now when I've got them like that, they'll look a bit chunkier at this side than here. So when you put it back in, that's when you can put the strap the other way so that it kind of evens out the plates then.
Nice, yeah, like it.
So let's try this one.
That, here we go, learning. A bit like when you need to keep changing and using your die plates.
Yes.
Keep using all the different sides so you don't bend them all one way.
Exactly, yes. So we've got, while we're just waiting for that to work now, I mean, this one here is absolutely glorious. If I lift that up a little bit nearer, you might be able to just see the amount of petals that are on there and how lovely that is, because it's kind of paler here and there and then really dark in the middle. And if we turn it over, look at that, because that's quite nice as well, isn't it?
Was that the one you did this morning?
Do it that way, yeah. And you could do that as well if you wanted to. Rather than having it as a flower that way, you could turn it over, bring in maybe your gems, put a gemstone in the middle of there, like a purple one or a green one. Immediately that makes it something else. It doesn't look like a pressed flower that you just press.
Yeah,
but I think that, you know, you can kind of do a lovely little arrangement. So something like this, what you could do is you do the fuchsia the other way. Let's turn that back the way it was, like that. So again, bring this into here, like this. Add this one. You could add 1 or 2 leaves, for instance, that we've already used. So we could have a couple of different leaves, different colours. You could bring in a little bit of the gypsophilia that we used this morning as well. So, you know, again, if we put them on here, actually, I'll put them on here and then you can see how they would be on something like this. So if we did the little vase stamp, for instance, then, and sometimes it's nice just to kind of play with them and arrange them in a way that, you know, they wouldn't be on a tree or in a garden, but you can then start to build it up. So we've got we can put a bit of gypsophilia in there like that.
I tell you what would be lovely as well. Like, so my dad loves fuchsias.
Does he?
Absolutely loves fuchsias.
Yeah.
But to find a card with a fuchsia might be tricky.
Absolutely,
but how good would it be to give him a card with an actual fuchsia on, like a real fuchsia on the card piece? That's a really nice thing. So you might, people, you know, everyone seems to have a favourite flower or something normally, something that they really like and are drawn to. So creating, you know, something like that for your family, for your friends, a really nice thing to do.
Of course, yeah. I mean, if I bring this, let me just put it on, this sheet so you can see it on the mat. Just give you an idea. And then I'll get this other flower out. If you were, like you were saying, Tim, about maybe making a card for your dad with a fuchsia on it. If you've got, like we've got this piece of the fuchsia plant here that was in my garden. So it's got the little buds. So again, with the existing fuchsias that we've already, you know, dried.
Oh, yes.
You could be arranging it in a way like this. So let's move that out of the way. Let's bring this one in.
Oh no, see, now I'm making you destroy your lovely bit of artwork.
So you could kind of start to build it up like that. See, I've got some more here.
Oh, that does look nice though, doesn't it?
I'm going to have to give you some fuchsias now, aren't I? And then when your dad's birthday comes round, you're going to have to make him a card.
It's all right.
I shall expect that of you now.
It's all right, we've got till March, it's fine.
Oh, okay, you got till March.
His ages away.
Well, that'll give you time, won't it, to perfect it.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely spot on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I dare say my first attempt's probably not going to be the best.
Well, you just have to...
But never say never. You never know.
Absolutely.
Never say never.
And then it's always another, what they say, another string to your bow, isn't it?
Yes.
Always another skill.
Oh,
it's always good
does
to have
look
lots
really
of skills.
pretty.
But look how you can kind of make that up like that straight away. And I've got another couple of, and even the tiniest little buds at the top there have stayed intact.
Yeah, beautiful.
And then we can let's pop this one just here, so that just hangs there like that. And then even at the bottom here, you could be doing like a little thing that just says Dad on it.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, that's a simple way of doing it. But let's check our gerbera now and see.
Laurie says that your paper looks beautiful, Sheila.
Thank you.
Very impressed with your paper. She's liking that a lot.
Well, I mean, imagine like if you got yourself this pack, there's nothing stopping you grabbing some flowers out of your garden. You might have a rose garden, so you might have deep red roses, you might have yellow roses, you might have peach, pink, white. You could be drying some petals out, and you could use your whole pack of this and do like 10 different sheets of paper. You know, and then you could be probably putting 5 sheets in a bag and selling them.
Yeah,
as your
absolutely.
own,
You could decorate
the not printed.
You could kind of a bit like putting a frame around the edging of it. We used to do that I remember that when I was at primary school. You used to do your handwriting.
Yes.
And then you had to decorate with a border.
Yes.
Around it. You used to do things, you had to decorate your work with a border. So then you could do that with actual flowers and petals. You could do a bit more around the corners with the flower, and you could do that. And then it could be handwritten stationery for someone to use. And someone else, Alison's also said, I suppose you could make your own biodegradable, like wedding confetti.
Absolutely,
Of course you could, because it's just flower petals. So of course you could do stuff like that. Of course you could, not a problem.
So we've done the gerbera. So this was the gerbera when we started. So that was the colour of the gerbera when we started. So now obviously the heat process does something to the colour, and obviously it did, but either way they are both beautiful. Now it's still quite warm, but you can see, let's turn it over and see what it's like the other way. So look at it that way. Again, totally different, completely different. Now what you can do with something like this, I feel like I need to put that in just a fraction longer because it's still quite floppy, and we need it to be a little bit drier than that, which is what happens when you press flowers in the traditional way. We want them to be dry so that then we can glue them or we can stick them onto something and know that they'll stay like that. So we're going to pop that in again for another 30 seconds, and we've given it kind of a couple of minutes just to rest, and I don't know if that makes any difference actually, but it's nice to just try it and see. Okay, so let's give that another 30 seconds. So sometimes it's not necessarily the making of a project that is the fun, it's the actual learning about the flowers, and I think you will see when you start to press these that you look at it in a different way, should I say. So you look at it in a different way to what you do when it's alive. So like with this fuchsia here, so I'm going to take this fuchsia off. So this is the real life fuchsia here, as it was, which is absolutely incredible anyway, isn't it? It's just so, so beautiful. And then we look at it when we've pressed it. And I feel like we see it in a different way now. We see how it actually comes together almost. You can see the differences in the colour, the veins on it, you know, the tendrils, the little stamen, and you don't kind of always take note of that when you see it in that form. When it's alive, you just look at its beauty. But then when you take it out of the flower press and look at it, it's like a different thing altogether, and it's really quite rewarding to see what's happened to it. Okay, so now then you can see what's happened now. It's kind of dried out more. So the petals are still quite soft, but we'll leave that for a minute. Now you can see the difference as well, because what we've got now is we've got like a glow.
It's almost like an aura around the sun, isn't it? That kind of thing.
It's like the eclipse that we saw the other night, where the moon goes in front of the sun, and you've got that lovely, lovely effect.
There you go.
And I think one of the samples you've got over there, Tim, has got gerbera on, hasn't it?
It does. This one.
And it's got, rather than it being completely flat, those flowers are still quite dimensional in the way they are put on there. So the leaves look quite dry, but the other flowers stand away a little bit, so you've still got quite a bit of texture. So obviously, it takes longer the more kind of moisture it has within it, and something like a gerbera has got a very, very kind of thick centre, so it's got a lot of moisture in there. I'm just going to see what happens if I lift this. So I wanted to show you, and I don't think I can see them on here, but on the gerbera I used recently, and I mentioned this morning, is that when I took the petals out, it had like these little tiny, yes, it's got them. Sorry, I didn't mean to be so excited.
She's excited.
Let me get a piece of black card to see if you can see this. Right, so I think this is an absolute wonder. So can you see these little feathery bits here?
Yes.
Look at those, how amazing are those? And that almost looks like Is it like a fly tie that you'd use for fishing? It looks like that, doesn't it? But look at that, and that is still really, really fluffy and soft. So that straight away is what inspired me to make like a little dragonfly.
I was just going to say dragonfly wings.
Were you going to say it?
I was just going to say that now.
So it
I was almost going to be a dragonfly.
Exactly. So what you could be doing is you could turn it that way, like that, and then let's get another couple. And when you put them together, if you put two together, like this in the middle, so let me just pull this out gently. You have to pull them gently. So, it's just so amazing. So if you put one there, and you pull another one out, like that, put those two together, like that, and then you pull two more out, just gently. Do you know what else they look like as well? If you're into miniatures, it looks like a quill. You know, so if you do like little 12 scale miniatures and things, or maybe a bit bigger, this could be like a writing quill. So imagine, look at that. How amazing is that? It's like a little insect, isn't it? With these little fluffy bits. Isn't it amazing? That's from a gerbera. I'm absolutely staggered that we can create that.
See, I've got a really random thought now, but I was now just thinking, if you had like 8 petals down either side, and you kind of spun another petal around, it'd be like a little rowing boat. Yes. Like 8 people in a rowing boat with their oars.
Oh my goodness, it would, a little rowing boat.
Well, honestly, it's amazing what your mind starts to see. But you could think of like a theme. So you could utilise flower petals and you could create so many unique little things in here. It's remarkable what you could come up with. It really is.
I mean, you could kind of make up your own flower here.
You see what I mean? You could. And I just think it's lovely. And all of this is available for you. So it's £45.19 if you're in the UK, or £61.83 if you are in the US for it. Everything will come included in the kit. You'll be getting the press, you'll be getting the papers, you'll be getting the sentiment stamps, the jars, bottles and vases stamps, you'll be getting the transparent stickers, and you'll be getting the 3 rolls of the rustic tape, all included in that bundle price for you. Don't forget, I'm challenging you this weekend to try to create your own bit of wonder by watching this, and then if you've got the kit at home, I want you to recreate something at home. I want you to go out and get some flowers, press the flowers and turn them into a project. I'd love to see them next week, because I will be back in next week towards the weekend, so it would be lovely if you could do your projects. But if you don't have this kit, then what I would like you to do is still try to create something like that, but use your own maybe paper crafted flowers or embellishments to create something along the same line. And then when you order your kit and get your kit home, then you can do it. But I'd still love to see your pictures. So, nice
I'm quite amazed by that. Look, you can make like another little flower now. So we've done a little flower. So if you've got another gerbera now of different colour, like maybe yellow, and then yellow petals and put those in between, then you're making a different style of flower altogether. And it could just be something that then has, say for instance, let me see if I've got something in here that we could use. I'm just looking if I've got some kind of stem.
Oh, Carol says, Sheila, if you put a little face on top of the fuchsia, it would look like a ballerina.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, let me bring that in. Let me bring that in. So we've put like a little stem on there now. We've made our own.
Laurie says, this might sound really crazy, but what if there is a bug on one of the flowers? Now, Laurie, I'm going to say take the bug off before you put it in the microwave and nuke it.
Yes. So there was a little one floating about before, a tiny little one. I don't know where it was gone. It was absolutely minute.
Well, hopefully not in the microwave.
It wasn't flying. No, it was just walking along. I think it's just walked off, probably walked off one of the flowers.
Let's not start a whole new crafting routine of pressing bugs.
No, let's not do that. That would be messy.
No.
But like you were saying, these could be ballerinas. They could be.
Oh, yeah, they could, couldn't they?
They could be fairies.
Oh, yes.
Couldn't they? Be little.
I'm pretty sure there's a whole series of books about fairies that are flowers as well. I'm pretty sure I've read them to my nieces.
Yes. But look, you've got like you've got they are like little magic fairies, aren't they? You can used to be able to buy those dolls, I think you can actually, where they have batteries and you throw them up in the air and they flutter.
Yeah.
Like little dolls, and I think I don't know if they've got a remote with them or not, but again, something like that you could do on a project. If we turn it, I mean, we did say about them being like birds as well, didn't we? So if we take the stem off there.
I think Alison's a bit worried. Alison's message saying, "Are you giving us homework, Tim?"
Yes.
Yes, Alison. Yes, I am. Get your homework done. I'm really not. I'm merely giving you inspirational ideas, and if you didn't know what to craft this weekend, there's an idea for you. But if you want to take it like I'm your teacher and I'm setting you homework, yes. Hand it in to this studio at crafterscompanion.co.uk. And if it's good, I'll show a picture of it. Of course I'll show a picture of it. But no, I'm not.
So earlier, I was showing Tim, and I'm not sure quite where I've put it now. It'll be around somewhere. How I was going to do that on the demo. Let me just have a look if it's down here, because it was earlier. Is it on that one? No, it wasn't.
Well, I'll tell you what, while you have a quick look for it, shall I just recap everyone what you've got? So what you've got,
yes.
The entire press comes included. Now, with your press, you'll be getting your 2 plates, the front and the back plate. You'll be getting 4 of the pieces of the felt, thank you. Again, twice today. Felt, and then you'll be getting 8 pieces of the kind of linen muslin cloth, which that's what kind of absorbs the moisture. And you can put these in the wash. And don't worry, you'll get a little bit of staining on them from the flower, the colours of the flowers and stuff like that. That's absolutely fine. If you use them well enough, it will look like an organic piece of tie-dye. And then all of that comes, and you get the band as well and everything. So that comes as the kit to be able to press the flowers into the microwave. Then you'll be getting your handmade paper, and you get 24 sheets of the handmade paper, which is 5 by 7 in size. Then you get your sentiment stamps. They come included, and that's all of the different sentiments that you'll be getting as the stamp. So you've got a whole variety of things on there for you. Happy birthday, happy anniversary, on your special day, all manners of things like that that come included for it. Then you're also going to be getting these. You'll be getting your various different vase and jars stamps, which I believe is what Sheila was looking for, because she's kind of conjured up a bit of magic with those. And then you get the transparent stickers. This is what the transparent stickers look like, and you get 20 of those in the pack, okay, various different sticker frames that you've got. And then you'll also be getting your 3 rolls of the rustic tape, which is 20 millimetres in its width, which is about 0.8 of an inch. It's £45.19 if you're here in the UK. If you're over the pond in the US, lucky you. I wish I was there. It's $61.83. We've had lots of people coming in. If you dried a large leaf, you could actually stamp on it.
Yes.
You'd have to be make sure you haven't crisped it and maybe a little delicate with stamp, but I think you're right, you really could.
Definitely.
I mean, I think that'd look really nice, actually. Imagine if you put the sentiments on the leaves and things like that. That's nice. Like the idea, Laurie. Like the idea. Very nice. Have you found your bit?
Okay, so I can't find my piece of paper, so what I'm going to do is just show you something that you can do with your stamps and your paper and your pressed flowers. So I'll do it as quickly as I can, because I know we've not got masses of time left. But what I've done with the stamp set, and you'll see here, I've actually used our masking roll, which is the roll of paper that's got a little bit of adhesive on the back. What I've done is stamped all these plant pots onto the roll, and then I've cut them out. When you cut them out, you need to try and cut out on the outer line, because that way then when you put it over something, you won't get an extra kind of bit showing. So I want to show you how this will work. So I'm going to just stamp the plant pot here. What we want to do is do like 5 or 6 of them, but we don't want them overlapping. And I know masking can sometimes be one of those techniques that you think, oh, I will do it, but you never get round to it. So what we'll do, let's stamp the plant pot about there, roughly in the middle like that. Now again, it's very textured and it's very absorbent, the handmade paper. So if it does stamp but it's a little bit bitty, that is why. It's not that you can't stamp like this. it's the way the paper is. It's never going to let it sit because it's got lots of lumps and bumps in. So what we're going to do now, if we put the stamp back on there, if I bring in the mask bit, put that over the top there, okay, what we'll do now is we will bring in the jar stamp. So bring in the jar stamp and we will stamp this. Now this will go over the top of the one we've just stamped. And because we've masked it, it means when we take the mask off, this jar looks like it's behind or slightly behind the tub here, or the pot, whatever you want it to be. So let's do that.
I like that stamp that you're using as well.
Yeah.
It's a nice system, that, because I'm going to say that back in the day, it used to be you either had, like, I remember the old wooden blocks, or it was like the rocker blocks. I still get on with rocker blocks, so I can still work with them. But I like that, though. You line it up over the top, you can see through it, all the lines down and press. I like that.
Yeah, you can. We do have a base that will go with the bigger one as well, so that when you stamp, if it's not quite even, you put that platform back on in the holes, and it gives you the identical stamped line again. Nice. So you don't mess it up in any way. It just does a repeat and fills in the gaps that you've just missed. So let's then bring in this one. So I've got the two masks on here now. So this one will go slightly behind. And this is a great way of using up all your little stamped, pressed flowers, that we've just done, like the gypsophilia and any little daisies, dandelions, things like that you've got at home that you've not actually, done anything with. So let's pop that over the top of there. So this will now stand behind. So if I take these off now, and these you can use again and again, like that. So can you see now we've got 3 jars and all behind each other.
It's so clever!
Isn't it clever?
I love that.
So then what we can do, let's keep this, and you can keep these on your paper. They will last quite a long time. So let's bring in now let's bring in this one. So we'll bring in the more like round jar. And again, we'll leave this here because we're going to stamp here. So we don't need to cover that one because we're not going to go that far over. Mm-hmm. So let's do that one there.
It's a really nice way of doing something, really nice way of layering things up. And these simple little kind of tricks, and also, I'm going to say it again, having the right tool for the job.
Yes.
Not just trying to cut out a normal piece of paper and hiding over the top with a normal piece of paper and then kind of trying to stick it down with something light. Use the right thing. The masking paper, does its job, easy, simple, quick,
yes,
versatile, and it means you can get on with your craft. And it's the right tool. Get the right tool for the job, 100% of the time. That's what my dad has ingrained into me from since I was a kid.
Yeah, and the great thing is about these as well is that once you've done a mask, it will just stick onto your sheet. So then you put it back in your packet with your stamps, and you've always got it. And even if you're stamping over that like 50 times, as long as it's still intact, it'll be fine. And then when it starts to get worn out, so you think, oh, it's not sticky now, just get a new piece. You've got loads on that roll. So again, with this one, we'll put this one a little bit higher up, so it looks like it's slightly behind there. Like that. And then we lift this off, like that. So we've got jars all like next to each other or behind each other. And then, because we've got a bigger gap here than we have here, let's do that final little bottle. So it's not like kind of left out. Feel like we can get all 6 on there. And then these are the perfect thing for you to start putting the little flowers into or onto. So we've got this tiny little stamp here, like that. So again, this is a really teeny bottle. And you could, with this one, light it down at the front if you wanted to. Could just be a little bottle just tucked away on its own. But let's just pop that just poking out at the back there behind. And because it's small, it should give the right perspective, actually. Because it's tiny and it would be kind of at the back. like that. So you can see now we've got all 6 on there. And that looks a bit sketchy, doesn't it, in the drawing side of things. It looks like someone sketched it with a pencil. And then what you can do, well, we've just got a couple of minutes for me to do this, haven't we? I've got my water brush. So if you imagine when you've had flowers in water for a while, the water can go a little bit green, can't it? So what I'm going to do, just to brighten this up and make it a little bit more lifelike, and I'm not doing it a lot of colour on here, I'm just doing a little bit. I'm going to bring in my water brush, because these are the watercolour pencils. So again, when we blend that out there, it just makes it have a bit of a green hue, like that. And then what we'll do, bring in the darker green here, and we can just put a little bit on there, just because that'll be a bit darker at the bottom. Okay, so let's just do that. So we've made that a little bit greeny. And then what we'll do, we'll bring in a bit of like yellow on this one at the back. So I'm not doing a lot, I'm just adding a tiny bit of colour. So I'll do a bit of yellow, water brush. Obviously it's very thick porous paper is this, so it's not going to spread a lot, but it will dilute it enough to give you a bit of colour. Then let's bring in a bit of like a wine colour here, almost like this. This could have been a red wine bottle that you've kept, you know, just to display something in it. Put a little candle in the top or a flower. So again, we'll just do that there, and then we'll bring in a pinky one here. So again, these are just waiting to have flowers put in them. So we don't need to do lots of colour on these. Again, it just brightens it up a little bit rather than it being quite plain. Like that. Sorry, what was that, Jamie? Okay, thank you.
I love it. I was a bit mesmerised then. I just like the subtlety, but I like the pop against the dark black of the stamp that you put on, the texture of the paper, and then you imagine the actual foliage coming out. So a whole multitude of textures, of depth to the actual piece. And you know, this is things that you could quite happily do. You know, you could pre-stamp these, and you could get, you know, friends and family and people that aren't necessarily as crafty involved, and say, right, all you've got to do is pick your flowers and stick them down. Exactly. Really simple, but you can make it your own. But if they want to get more involved, then everyone can get involved with doing more of it. And it's a nice way for you to be able to create it. And I like the idea that if you got, you can buy like paper like this that actually has wild seeds in the paper. You know, you could quite happily do this on that paper, and then you know, it could be that you rip off, or it could be you buy a piece of that seeded paper and you attach it to this, and then you've got like almost like a card that then you could write, you know, rip me off and plant me in the garden to grow more wildflowers, and then you have this picture behind it or something. It's really lovely and beautiful. So a nice way of kind of mixing various different things all together, which I think works, you know, really, really well, especially with this designer collection. £45.19 for the UK, and it's $61.83 if you are in the US. Everything comes included that you've seen Sheila using there, so all of the stamps, they're all included. That you can see that paper, that comes included with it. You have got the sentiment stamps. You've also got the kit that comes included for the actual pressing of the flowers. You get the tape, and you also get the stickers that come included for it as well.
So you can see now how that's livened it up a bit. I've put a bit of regular pencil here, and then what you could just do is you could just start to put your little flowers in like that, just to make it look a bit more realistic. Obviously you do maybe a smaller one here, but you can see how you can then start to add your flowers in there that you've pressed.
Absolutely beautiful, really lovely. And that's the thing, you know, you want to be able to make a complete project with everything in there, and this kit has all of that. Well, that's been your weekend wonder, so thank you so much for tuning in and joining in. Now, don't forget, if you do have the opportunity to create that, I'd love for you to do that and let us know next week how you get on. But I'm going to leave you for a quick little break, and then we'll come back and we're going to leave you with, what was it, the pick of the week coming up. Oh, I love that. That's your daubers, isn't it?